Hello, John Bloodworth, Gentleman Crafter here with part 27 of the Card Sketch Challenge for 2022. I've got a few dies selected here together with my 6x4 white card, and I've already skipped ahead and done the die cutting bit. And I've chosen some papers here from a paper pad by First Edition called Gardenia. You've seen me use these before if you've been watching any of these. But it's got a whole bunch of stuff in that I love. Okay, let's crack on with the card itself. So yes, as I mentioned, it's a 6x4 card, and of course the download that you can get from my website gentlemancrafter.com contains the measurements for all of the layers and the cutout bits that I'm now sticking to the card. As ever, I'm using Pen Flair bookbinding glue as it's low moisture, quick grab, and I believe it's archival. I could be making that bit up. But if it's a bookbinding glue, it should be. I'm using the reverse action tweezers as well, as they help me, like a second pair of hands, to hold the card and position it until I'm ready to release. And then I just gently squeeze. Squeeze. Okay, that's the first two layers on. Now, for the sentiment panel, I'm going to be sticking this die cut word that says hello onto the white little panel. Now obviously the colours, choices, the pattern papers, they're all up to you. These are just serving suggestions. You can of course use whatever you've got in your stash. It's a great way of using up that bit box or the scrap box, whichever you've got. Or if you're like me, you've probably got a scrap box and a bit box. Anyway, on the back of that sentiment panel, I'm going to use foam pads to raise that up off of the card, and that will also allow me to slip some things behind it as well, which is why I'm using thinner strips of foam pad. Yoink, yoink. And then popping that on loosely according to the plan that I've designed, but of course if you feel that it could work better lower on the card or higher, remember that game show? Then do it. Just do whatever you fancy. This die cut stamen type thing is from Julie Hickey Designs. It's actually coming in quite useful as something to put behind the flowers for a little bit of extra detail, especially if the flowers are smaller than the stamens, like they are here. So this is what I was saying about slipping things behind. Now these could be a circle die cut. If you haven't got flowers, you could just exchange them for a circle, or even any other shape really. The positioning and the shape on the plan will be circles, but as I say, you can switch it out for whatever you've got. I'm sure you've got a few dies lying around, or perhaps you've got a Cricut or Silhouette or a Scan and Cut. You can of course cut things out using that and pop them on the card. Now the die cuts for the flowers actually did die cut these central bits out, which means I can chop and change which one I want to use in the center of the flower. Excuse me. There we go, there's the first two. And then I've just cut a couple of small starry type shapes out to put in to replace the rather large stamens. Of course, the ultimate dilemma, gems or no gems, will come later on, but for now I'm just working with paper. So now I'm just working with smaller flowers, trying not to cover the sentiment, although if it just does cover the little heel or swish of the sentiment, it doesn't matter. Nobody's going to punch you in the face for that. Don't forget, I do have a Facebook group where you can come and share what you make. I will leave a link in the description below the video on YouTube. and of course it will be linked to from the blog post or website post that accompanies this on my blog, gentlemancrafter.com. A couple of teeny tiny stars as the stamens for the smaller flowers. I'm using the right word, aren't I? Stamens. I don't know, whatever. Okay, so gems or no gems? I think we are going to have to go with gems. And I chose green ones just purely because green seems to have run through the background papers. But of course, change that colour out for whatever you fancy, or whatever works with the paper or card that you're using. If you have any questions about this particular video, please feel free to leave them below the video on YouTube or of course on my blog. If you are posting it on the blog, just be as clear as you can. Okay, a few tiny gems to finish. And there we go. There is card sketch layout number 27. I hope you found this useful and will share and show me what you make. Thanks for watching.